estimating square roots, okay? So we want to look at this example here. Jennifer is purchasing a square canvas for custom artwork that she'll create. She wants the canvas to have a single side length that is between 8 and 9 inches. She finds a canvas with the area shown on the right. Okay, so estimate the dimensions of the canvas. We know the area is 90 square inches. How would I find the side of that based on what we did yesterday? Do the what? How do we undo square?
Divide.
No.
Divide by 4.
No.
Square.
We do the square root. Okay? So let's write down the square root of 90. Okay? Now, it wants us to compare this. It said between 8 and 9. So let's look at what is this. So, does it meet the requirements?
No.
No, it does not meet the requirements. And this thing represents a non-perfect square. Non-perfect square. So our goal this whole paper is to take non-perfect squares and estimate them. So we really don't need a calculator today because we're not looking for exact answers anyway. We're looking for an estimate, which even though we put them in the calculator, we'll still get an estimate, but a more accurate one. Okay? So perfect squares. Can anyone tell me based on yesterday what they think this blank might be? Numbers whose square root are what? Whole numbers. Good. And an example would be maybe square root of 100. And if it's non-perfect squares, you would think the answer would be numbers whose square root are not whole numbers. What are whole numbers again?
Any number of decimals, fractions.
Okay, numbers, the counting numbers plus what value? 0. Okay? And then an example might be square root of 21 or the square root of 37. But what we can do is use the numbers we do know to help us find those. Okay, so it asks us to estimate the value of 50. So I'm going to put the square root of 50 in the middle here. Okay, what is the next smallest square root that gives us a whole number?
49.
49. So I'll put the number up here, square root of 49, and then I'll put the value it equals underneath it, 7. So the square root of 49 is 7. Now what's the next biggest one?
64.
Okay, 64 and 8. Okay, so we've done A, check. We put it on the number line. Now, which is that closer to? 7 or 8?
7.
Okay, it's closer to 7. And if you were guessing to the nearest tenth, you might give it 7 point what? Okay, 7.1 sounds good to me. And we'll use the little squiggly line. Equals, because that means what? Round or approximate. Okay. So anytime we estimate, we'll use that thing. The squiggly equal sign. Okay, number 2 is the same idea. So we can put, we'll do it in blue this time, square root of 22. What's the next lowest? 16. Okay, 16. And once again, if you aren't able to see that in your head really quickly, you can use the note page we did the other day that has all of the perfect squares on it. And then the one above it would be 25, and that's 5. So that fill in the blank piece, square root of 22 is between which two values?
4 and 5.
4 and 5. And it's closer to which of them?
5.
5. Now, I had some students, when they looked at this, they said that this was 5 point something, but why is that not right?
Because it's not above 5.
Because it can't be above 5. So can someone, maybe, Zuli, could you give me a guess for a decimal, you think? It didn't have to be anything. Sure, 4.8. Sounds great. Okay? We just want it to be an educated guess. We don't care if it's exact. We just want it to be an educated guess. So let's do the next one. 103. Allison, what's the next lowest perfect square? Yeah, so what could I put below 103 that's perfect? Not 100, no, it's got to be perfect. We want it to be a whole number. So what's the next one under 103? So look at the chart from last time. And
Raise your hand. Raise your hand.
so, yeah, it's 100. Do you see 100 on that list gives you 10? Okay, and then Alexis, what about the next one higher? 121, which is 11. So once again, these two numbers here, this one and this one, you can get those from your notes from last time. So it's between 10 and 11. Raphael, it's closer to which one? 10. And what's a decimal you would guess? 10 point what?
Nice.
10 point what?
7.
Is it closer to 10 or closer to 11?
Oh, like 10.2.
Okay, 10.2. So is there any question about this idea of estimating so far?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Brylan, tell me what you think for number 4. Which of the following square roots is best represented by point A? So it's closer to which thing, Brylan?
B, the 12.
But no, sorry, it's closer to 3 or 4?
Oh,
4. What is the square root value for 4?
16.
16. And square root value for 3 is 9. So it's closer to which one? 16. Good. So A, B, C, D, you think? C. Great. Now, 2 of these answers don't make sense at all. C is correct. But 2 of these answers don't make sense at all. D and A. Why?
Because they're below 3.
They are both over here below 3. So I can't even look at those. And then B is too far away. B is too far away since C is closer. Okay? Which of the following would best estimate for 198, the square root of 198? So I'm going to write it like this. Square root 198. And then I'm going to put the next lowest over here and the next highest on this side. So instead of a number line, I'm just going to use an inequality. Let's see, Zachary, can you give me the next lowest? 196. And Jaden, you got the highest? Next highest?
225.
Yeah, 225. And those two values are equivalent to 14 and 15. So which one is it closer to, Mason? 14? Is it really close to 14, or is it like kind of in the middle between them?
It's really close.
So the answer should be
14.1.
A. Okay, because it's very close to 14. Okay, I want you guys to try number 6 on your own real quick. Try number 6 on your own. Okay. So everyone else, try number 6. Since you're done with 6, do 7 and 8 also.
What?
Try number 6, 7, and 8 on your own. I'll give you about a minute to try that. Notice it says integers, so you just need to put the whole numbers. And the reason it says integers is because whole numbers don't include what values? Negative.
Oh.
But integers do include negative.
And you said you're 7 and 8 too?
Try 7 and 8 as well.
When it's asking what between, do we put the square root or?
No, just give me
Square.
the value. So like on
Square.
A, it would be between 9 because 9 is 81 and 10 because 10 is 100. Okay? Between 9 and 10 for A. Number 7 is similar to what we did yesterday. Except it has an additional step.
When you first think negatives, do you think of it with the parentheses or without? When you're first thinking about numbers.
Well, in the case of negative values and square roots, for right now, we haven't talked about how to deal with a negative inside the square root. So we will not have in 8th grade negatives inside of square roots. They will always be outside. Later on in maybe the very end of Algebra 2 or pre-cal, you'll see negatives inside of square roots. I know pre-cal for sure. Okay, so 6B. 6B. Garen, you said very confidently you already done it. So 6B, you got what?
B, letter B.
Yep.
It's square root of 175 is between 13 and 14.
Okay. 13 is 169, square root of 169, and 14 is 196. So that would be correct. Okay. Hector, you got C, or you want to try C?
-3 and -4.
I agree that it's between -3 and -4. However, let's order them from smallest to largest. So let's say it's -4 to -3. But good job. Okay, anybody want to give a shot to number 7? Kobe, okay.
You want to say the answer or?
Tell me what I should do.
What I did was
Okay.
I got what they all equal.
What do you mean?
Like, look, I put 65 and
Okay.
then the two numbers that were closest to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So square root of 65, and then you put that between the two next closest. So
Yeah.
what's the closest below?
64,
64. What's the closest above?
81,
81. And so which value is that closer to?
64,
64, which is how much?
8,
8. So the value should be
8.1.
8. Yeah, 8.1 is good. Okay. Does anyone have a question about how we ended up at 8 and 9? No? Okay. Now, number 8 basically just wants you to plot those somewhere on there. So square root of 5 is between which two values? It's between 2 and 3. Okay. Okay, Garen, where does B go?
In the middle of 9 and 10.
Okay, and you don't have to write the value, you can write the letter. You think that's closer to 9 or closer to 10?
Closer to 9.
But just barely. Okay, what about C? Zuli? Between 4 and 5, closer to which one?
4.
Okay, so I'll put it kind of right there next to 4. Letter D. Okay, Garrett?
In the middle of 10 and 11.
Okay, closer to which one?
A little bit closer to 10.
A little bit closer to 11. Because 11 is 121, right? Okay. Lastly, E. Zachary, you got E. Where do you think it should go? Between 7 and 8. Closer to which one? But just barely. Okay, great job. Oops. So we'll do one last thing, and then I'll let you guys work on the assignment. Mark each statement below as true or false. Square root of 202 is between 14 and 15, but closer to 15.
Incorrect. False.
Okay, so let's highlight the thing that isn't true about it. What isn't true about that?
Closer to 15.
Yes. So it is between 14 and 15, but it is not closer to 15. False. Okay. Number 2, square root of 7 is between 3 and 4, but closer to 3.
False. It's closer to 4 and
False. I'm sorry?
5. Isn't it closer to like 4 and 5? No, 3 and 4.
Yeah, so it's actually between 2 and 3, right?
Yeah. Never mind.
So the between is the part that was wrong. Okay, and square root of 99 is greater than 9.5. So square root of 99 would be right there, really close to 10. So is that greater than 9.5?
Yes.
True. Okay. So are there any questions about how we estimate? We pick one below, we pick one above, and we look at where it's closer. That's really all we do.
Yeah, 2 is closer to 169.
I'm sorry, say it again.
No, I was thinking of 13 and 15.
Oh, okay. Okay.